If you talk around something you don't want to discuss, avoid answering a question directly, or just generally hedge or prevaricate, then you could be said to be beating around the bush. If you're enjoying learning about the origins of phrases like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know your favorite phrase in the comments below. But what kind of bush are we talking about here, and why exactly are we beating around it? The hunting origins of beat around the bush. Like a lot of our most bizarre phrases and expressions, beat around the bush was once referred to something entirely literal. It came out of hunting and alluded to those who were tasked with thrashing bushes and undergrowth in an effort to scare out any birds, rabbits, or similar creatures that could then be caught in nets by their accomplices. This bush beating is an age-old hunting technique, a fact backed up by the very earliest written evidence of the phrase. The Oxford English Dictionary unearthed a version of the expression, "Cast your sparehawk into a tray and beat the bushes," way back in 1486 in the Book of St. Albans, while PhraseFinder tracked it down in a manuscript of the poem Generitus, a Romance in 7-line stanzas from around 1440. But, as it hath be said full long ago, some bet the bush and some the birds take. It's likely the technique was around before that, and, it still survives among hunting parties today, with beaters employed in grouse and pheasant shoots to rouse the birds from bushes and heathland. Fun fact: Nobel Prize-winning author Kazuo Ishiguro was actually a grouse beater for the British royal family. The Oxford English Dictionary's earliest citation for beat around the bush as we would recognize it today dates all the way back to 1572. He bet about the bush whilst other caught the birds. As for why the beaters were only beating around the bush, it's been suggested that doing so would prevent them from striking the animals directly and, avoid landing a blow on something more dangerous like a wild boar. So, how then did we get from an activity related to a literal bird hunt to prevarication? Well, it's probably because the bush beating and bird rousing part of the hunt would have essentially been the preamble to the actual hunting and catching. Ultimately, in the late 1500s, beat around the bush came to be used more metaphorically to refer to acting ahead of or in spite of the inevitable, or whatever else was still to follow. And from there, the phrase later came to be used more pejoratively of somehow delaying, avoiding, or actively putting off doing something altogether.